everybody, it's me, good guy Wooper. How's it going? How's it doing? I got an idea for a series. I've been kind of wanting to do something like this, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit different than other videos you may have seen around the interwebs, but I wanted to talk about what's going on. I don't know what I'm gonna call this show, but there'll be something in the title, and you might click on it, you might not. If you clicked on it, good, because that means I did alright with my clickbait for today. Alright, let's go ahead and get to this. So, first off, this whole thing's unscripted. Second, third, I'm gonna be talking today about one of my favorite franchises.
Pokemon!
Alright, so for any of you guys who were wondering, why are we talking about Pokemon? Fucking look at this channel for 5 seconds. This Pokemon all the time. It's only Pokemon. Cause fuck, if I play anything else, no one watches. Hey, I'm just kidding. It's cool. No, it's not. It actually kind of hurts inside. First off, a little bit of background on my history with Pokemon. I was a young lad of the age of whenever Ruby came out. I'm not going to bother to do the math on that. But it was Christmas Day. I had been watching the Pokemon series for a very long time, and I was like, boyo, I've been wanting this game-o for forever-o. And Dad's like, we're too poor. But finally, one Christmas, I'm assuming, oh god, I don't even know if it was like when Ruby came out. I have no idea. I'm just gonna assume it was when Ruby came out. It was that Christmas. I got a Game Boy Advanced, or a Pearl Blue Game Boy Advance, and a copy of Pokemon Ruby. And oh boy howdy, I was super excited. I started up the game and was like, oh my god. Listen to this music. There's so many trumpets. And as a child, I mean, I don't think I'm alone in this at all, but I was a big fan of dinosaurs. They were these giant fucking things that walked around and they screamed sometimes, but their screams are cool and not scary. So I picked Trico, and the rest was history. They pretty much had me hooked immediately. I can't even tell you how many hours I put in that game. Unfortunately, I no longer have that cartridge of Ruby I had when I was a child, because I'm pretty sure I lost it at my grandma's somewhere and just was not able to find it. I remember being super devastated about that, though. Then the next game I got in the series was It's my series. In the series was Pokemon Fire Red. Cause it was orange, really. That was it. My favorite color as a kid was orange. I guess now it's like a deep red, but so I'm 5 and still have a favorite color. And I could go on about how, oh, I picked Bulbasaur because dinosaur. Well, you could pick Charmander. I mean, I like Charmander enough, but like I only like Charmeleon and I don't like Charizard so much, so we've been over this. But besides the point, I went on to play pretty much every game around launch, I want to say. I didn't really have too much control of it because I didn't have my own income because I was a small child. But I did, when it came to Black and White, at some point after Pokemon Platinum, I must have dropped off. Because I remember, so we didn't exactly have internet at the time. Like, I wasn't able to readily access it. And for me, having no information outside of Nintendo Power, and Nintendo Power stopped existing around this time, I couldn't find out when new Pokemon games were coming out unless there was a commercial on TV. And I remember I'd get super excited about that because I think Platinum came out and then it was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of the Sky, but that'll wait for another video because that's a real good game. But we continued on to Unova. I remember I was in a GameStop and I didn't have quite enough money. And my sister, God bless her, she's great. My little sister was like, I have a little bit of extra money. I'm gonna help you get this. But don't tell any... Fuck you, alarm! Can't you tell I'm in the middle of something? Anyways, so my little sister helped me get this game, and needless to say, my parents were pissed. They thought I had like tricked her into it or something like that, and I was like, no, she was just being nice. But anywho, besides the point, this is just a tragic childhood we'll go over at some point. But so we got Black and White. We continued over. Black and White 2 was, so by then I was dating Miss Hannah. So me and her actually played through Black and White 2 together for the most part. At some point she totally dropped off. But then we went over to the 3DS Pokemon games and something lost me. I want to say maybe it was because we were going from 2D to 3D and I was just super into this like art style. But it was just, I don't know, some of the charm was lost when we went over to the next game, and it's been kind of meh for me ever since, really. Pokemon X and Y was the first game I started disliking the starter Pokemon. I was like, alright, I mean, or actually no, let's go even further back than that. The starters from Black and White. It was the first Pokemon game where one badge in, I decided I didn't want to train my starter anymore, and I put it in a PC box. First time in any Pokemon game I've ever done that. I picked Snivy, by the way, if you're wondering. And no, picking the other starter, because I've played through the games enough time that I've used every starter. I used the other two starters, and to be honest, that didn't help me either. It wasn't any better by any means. And then we get Gen 6. I kind of liked Feroki. Fennekin was the hype child, and then we saw it evolve. And Chespin wasn't even on the radar. And then here we are with Generation 7, and I like the Owl, but the Owl isn't necessarily good at what he does. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people who are like, well, if you use it competitively and you do it this way, you can actually get a pretty good Pokemon out of it. I'll be like, shut up, Patrick. It's not your fucking turn to speak. And that brings us up to now with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now, I know exactly what this is. This is another situation just like Black and White 2, where they're getting ready to develop for a new console. And they're not quite ready to do it, so they're like, okay, let's take this opportunity and train a younger development team. So, essentially, there's actually reports that confirm this. I'll have to go find them so you guys can read through it yourself. But the team that's working on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is actually a younger development team. It's a new team that they're bringing in. So I'm essentially believing that, 1, this game is a staller. 2, this is for practice. Now, don't get me wrong, a staller game isn't a bad thing, but there's a lot of things about Generation 7 that I just fucking hate. There's so many echoes of Diamond and Pearl, it's not funny. And the only reason why I say that is it's super ambitious. It's on hardware that it has no business being on because it's not nearly powerful enough for what they're trying to do. And fuck, I mean, they are trying. There's some great ideas there, but they fall flat most of the time. Especially with their online presence. They tried to do something again like I don't remember what it was called, the Festival Terminal or something like that in Platinum. They tried to remake that in Generation 7 and trying to make it like an interactive thing when, quite frankly, I wouldn't have said anything had the PSS just been transferred over. They figured out the perfect fucking system for playing the game online, and then they just threw it out. Why? And on top of that, Mega Evolution! You add a 4th successful pillar after trying for so long to get your fucking game working. So every single game, you add a new gimmick. And you're like, oh, hopefully this works. And then it doesn't. And we have to move on to the next game. And we gotta be like, alright, so Generation 5, let's try triple battles. Maybe that'll work. And then it doesn't, because it's bad and confusing. confusing. And then they're like, all right, well, what about rotation battles? We'll do that in the same generation. One of these fuckers has got to skip. It doesn't. They don't stick. They don't stick around at all. They weren't good. You couldn't do it competitively because it became too much of a mess. Kitten, stop doing the things you're doing. Stop it. There's a kitten over here. He's being a little shit. You're being a little shite, son. So we move on to Generation 6, and they're like, alright, what about this newfangled idea we're gonna call Mega Evolutions? Essentially, since Digimon's dead, no one's gonna remember it. Let's go ahead and take some of their game mechanics. Maybe that can make our game better. And boy howdy, were people skeptical, to say the least. People were very skeptical that they added the whole Mega Evolution thing even into the game, quite frankly. And now it's a staple. We love it. We're like, oh shit, when are we getting new Mega Evolutions? The fuck happened to Flygon? And it's like, we get to Generation 7, and things became fairly apparent to me. Mega Evolution was yet another gimmick. I was so sad. I believed that they genuinely found a new pillar, and then they just dropped it. You know, there's some people saying, oh, well, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's gonna have new Mega Evolutions because people have been asking for... No, it won't. It won't. Let me tell you quite frankly, my good sir, that's not happening. And here's the reason why. It was Generation 6's gimmick. Or at least in the eyes of Game Freak, it was Generation 6's gimmick. And we're probably never gonna see new Mega Evolutions. Fuck, if it does happen, I'll be so happy and excited because it'll be like, oh my god, my favorite gaming mechanic ever is back. It's not gonna happen though, because we got this little thing called Z moves. Now, Z moves, for all you unsuspecting children out there, is this damnable little object that you put around your wrist. It looked like your mega ring, and you're like, oh man, I'm getting more megas. You're not. You are not. Welcome to the muddiest thing to probably ever happen to Pokemon's meta. I feel like nothing threw more of a wrench into the gameplay than Z moves, because it's like, all right, well, rather than I'm wondering at the logic when a little something like this, where they're like, all right, well, we can't keep making new Mega Evolutions for every single Pokemon ever, because eventually they're gonna start looking a little wonky. Let's just give type move, or like ultra powerful type moves, and you can use it once per battle, kind of like Mega Evolution, except for a lot worse. And maybe creatively that was the idea. Let's do that. Maybe, I don't know. So first off, that was gripe number 1 with Generation 7. Gripe number 2 with Generation 7. Who the fuck designed some of these Pokemon? I mean, I know people have been using the excuse of, oh man, Pokemon's been very uncreative for like forever. Oh my god, is that a piece of rock? Oh! Look, alright, I don't have a problem with inanimate Pokemon. They're fine. I think I've said before, if you guys watch the channel, I don't like food Pokemon. Whose idea was this? No, it's food. I don't want to eat this fucking thing. It's different when it's like, I'm a magnet that came to life, or I'm a pile of poop. That's fine. I can't stand the idea of someone cooked this thing and now it's alive. Which I'm sure is not how it works, and somebody in the comment section is going to let me know about that, but whatever, who cares. Generation 7 has some just fugly Pokemon designs. I have to say, for every one good Pokemon design, there's 3 bad ones. Speaking of which, Alolan forms. My god, they're kind of cool. What an amazing game changer. Let's take some Pokemon that maybe were hindered by their stats. Let's not improve that at all. Let's change their typing. and let's see if typing makes all the difference for these Pokemon. And you know what? It does. There's quite a few Alolan Pokemon. Actually, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time now is Alolan Sandslash. Its Ice Steel typing, first off, is amazing. Second off, the design's great. And fuck, it's kind of a pseudo, like, second icon, or not second icon. It's like a pseudo, like, second mascot to the channel, because I just... Fuck, if I wasn't legally required to have Good Guy Wooper in my title, I'd probably have switched over to Alolan Sandslash, because boy, do I love that. I love that little blueberry. I just want to give him a hug and pet him and probably die because those icicles are sharp as shit. Now, there are rumors circulating about new Alolan forms introduced into the Pokemon games. I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, they might not, though. It might be pretty bad. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get any Alolan forms. I saw Sacred Fire has been making these speculation videos with clickbait thumbnails like you would not believe. Not that I would know anything about that. But he's talking about how there's like an Alolan Oddish line and Alolan Parasect. Fuck, dude, if they do anything with Parasect, I would be shocked and ecstatic because I'm the only person on the planet that loves Parasect. I would love to see more Alolans. It's not gonna happen though. No, I won't go as far as to say it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna say it's very unlikely at this point, since we're what, fucking 2 weeks out. I doubt anything fantastical is coming out of that. But so essentially this video was meant to be like my general feelings about the current climate of this game. I feel like people are fine with just taking whatever, but I feel like you should be able to criticize a franchise that you love. And I feel like Pokemon's kind of fucked up. This is the first time I feel like I've seen Pokemon go through growing pains besides Generation 4. Generation 4, they're on new hardware. Generation 7, they are on hardware that's severely out of date. And now we can go into the reasons as to why they made the decision to stay on the 3DS rather than moving over to the Switch. And that was because Game Freak thought the Switch was gonna fail. That's a shocker. I can't necessarily blame them considering how the Wii U went, and that was probably why they didn't really make much of anything for the Wii U. In fact, most of the Pokemon games that came out for the Wii U weren't even by Game Freak. They were all outsourced to other studios. So we get this takes us all of this business that we just talked about takes us to the present. We are, let's say, at the time of recording, it is the 29th of October. Now we are less than 10 or fuck. No, it comes out on the 17th. We almost got half a month until this game comes out. But I'll tell you what, my lads, my dudes, my bros. I'm going to be playing this on the channel. I don't necessarily know that I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going in optimistic, and I'm not going in with any kind of expectations. The only thing I genuinely believe is that this game is going to be a black and white 2 situation, except from the way it's looking, it might be handled poorly. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. So hopefully when the game comes out, Game Freak proves me wrong. And this Pokemon, let's say Pokemon moves back up to how I felt about it when Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out, or when Black and White came out. Because I wouldn't say X and Y, because X and Y kind of echoes some of the problems I have with Diamond and Pearl, but not as severe. It's going to be interesting, I will say that much, and I'm hoping for the best. But as for the rest of this, guys, I just want to thank you. We're kind of running on time here, or quite a bit of time to be quite frank with you, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this retrospective / the state of this game. Ooh, that sounds like a title. Let's do that for the title. Tell me, you guys, what game you would like to see me, or what franchise you'd like to see me do next. Right now, I have one for Halo in the works, so Halo should be coming out next. Because boy howdy do I have quite a bit to say about Halo. I'll see you guys later. Keep it good, guys. Keep it good.